Hi everyone, Budget Girl here. I have another money question to answer for you. This one comes from Modest Housewife, who asks, how do I find out all of my debts so that I can start paying it off? And this is an excellent question. I've gotten this many times and I've got the answer for you. But first I want to tell you, this is definitely the right path to take, is to kind of suck it up, because I know it's scary when you're getting started and you have a lot of debt and you're not sure exactly how much you owe and what to who. So I remember back when I just graduated college, I had all of these student loan bills coming in. I wasn't sure where they were coming to. I had a couple of like little credit card bills at a time. I had some medical debt, which I almost never talk about, but it's not intentional. It's just I got it out of the way and then I purged it from my brain. But I had all of these debts going on and I didn't have a good hold on what they were. And a part of me was scared to really be in full knowledge of what the damage was. Now this, I completely understand, but I promise you that it feels better to know. I can't tell you how much better it feels to know what your actual damage is, exactly what debt you have and who you owe it to. Even though that could be a super big scary number, you're scared that it could be a bigger number than you kind of have in your head, and maybe it will be and maybe it won't be. It could end up being less than you've kind of imagined it to be. But getting a grasp of your situation and writing down all of these debts and having them somewhere so that you can start making a plan to getting them paid off, I promise you it'll make you feel like you're more in control, and it'll be a whole lot better than kind of wandering around knowing that you have debt but not where, and just constantly worrying about it. So once I've convinced you to go ahead and figure out all of your debts, which should be now, I hope, then what you're going to need to do is there's a really easy spot to go to get all of this information, and that is annualcreditreport.com. Now, legally, you have access to a free copy of your credit reports through the three major credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You have access to those, and you can print off a free copy, or you can email yourself a copy, or you can have them mail you a copy for free once a year. And what happens is every debt that you have gets reported to these credit unions and the credit bureaus, and they keep track of it, and that's how they develop your credit score. Now, if you're a Dave Ramsey follower like me, you know that the credit score isn't really a lovely thing, and an excellent credit score isn't necessarily something that you should constantly be striving after, because it's essentially an I love debt score. However, that credit score will probably tell you kind of where you are debt-wise. If you have a lot of missed payments, if you maybe forgot about a debt that you had somewhere, something's in collections. So that's another kind of scary thing you might look at. When I first looked this up, when I was trying to get control of my debt, I had a poor credit score. It wasn't extremely poor, but it was at like the second, because there's extremely poor, fine, good, and then excellent. I now have an excellent credit score, mostly because I haven't used credit in forever, and I just continually pay on my debt. But it started out bad. And what I did was I went to the credit bureaus, I printed off all three reports, and they're all going to just vary just a little bit, but they're all going to have that list of these are the people you owe your debts to, and it'll have basically the contact information and what your current debt is there. And that gives you that first stepping stone in figuring out how to start paying this down. Now, if you have things in collections, like I had medical bills in collections, they weren't for a huge amount, but they were in collections, I'm just saying. And that gave me the ability to call them and try to negotiate a lower price. You can do all of that, but just knowing everything, having this giant packet, and it will be a giant packet of basically every bad mark that you've ever gotten and all of your debts, is going to be extremely key in knowing where to make the plan and go from there. So you go to www.annualcreditreport.com, or on the phone, and I'll list this number down below, 1-877-322-8228. is the way to call them, or you can complete the annual credit request form found at annualcreditreport.com/CRA/requestformfinal.pdf and mail that in to Annual Credit Report Request Service, P.O. Box 105281, Atlanta, Georgia. All of that information will be down below. This is the official website that you go to. There are other websites that you can go to that will charge you for a credit report. You don't want to go to those. Now, you may, if you've already requested your credit report from all 3 agencies this year, what you might want to do is request just one at first, and then 3 months from now request another one, and that way you'll get kind of an updated score. That's not what I did. I printed off all 3. I wanted every single piece of knowledge that any official organization had, and then went from there. But you could do that, and you could kind of monitor your progress. 3 months later, or you request the one from Experian, 3 months later you've cleared up some of the debt. You want to see how your score has improved, how your basically your activity reports have improved, because it'll say like you're in kind of a negative thing over here, really negative because you've had more than 8 missed payments recorded, and it might have improved a little bit because you hadn't had as many missed payments within the period that they judge it by. So all of that will be down below. Now your student loans will be on there, but if you want all of your student loan information, there is a government website called nsld.ed.gov that you can go to and get all of your student loan information for federal loans. And that is the National Student Loan Data System. That'll tell you which company is currently in possession of your loans, what the rate is at, if it's in a negative, if there's anything going on with it, and that's also very useful because you can also consolidate through there, which I don't necessarily recommend. It depends on your situation, but I did that just because I had like 10 loans and I couldn't deal with them individually, so I consolidated into one government loan, and I'm still paying that off. So I honestly don't know if that helped me in the long run or not, because some of them had slightly different interest rates, but that's past is past. But nslds.com or .ed.gov is where you can go to get all of that information on all of your student loan borrowing. I still visit that occasionally just to make sure that everything is on track, other than just though I visit my actual student loan website, though it's been sold like 3 times. Sally Mae had it at one point, and then another company, and now Great Lakes owns it. And if something like that has happened to you where you don't necessarily remember letters that were sent saying, hey, your student loan's been sold off, hey, your student loan's been sold off, this government website will tell you exactly who owns your student loans right now and who you need to be paying to. So that is how you find out all of your debt. And I definitely recommend doing that. What I did was, in one of my very first budgets, I made a list of smallest debt to largest debt. I said where it was from, what the minimum payment was. I'm an Excel nerd, so I just had basically a box. And I said, this is how much debt I owe, this is how much the minimum I need to be paying on it is, this is the contact number for the organization, this is who owns it, and I'd make in little notes saying, last time I paid extra on this was this much on this date. Especially with like medical debts, there's not necessarily a place you can log into and see your current balance. It's just you're paying a debt that's in collection. So anyway, I made that list, and as I paid something off, I slashed through it, I deleted it, and then I moved on all of my resources to the next one. And now I've only got the student loan left. That list used to be like, I'm telling you, man, it's better now. But the very first step is finding out what you own, and this is how to do it. All of the contact information for National Student Loan Database and the annualcreditreport.com will be below, and I very much hope that this helped you out a little bit. If you're getting started, just know that you can do this. I've done this. Millions of other people have done this, and they've decided to get on a step to living a better life by getting in control of their finances. And it's scary and it's hard, but you'll feel better once you're taking action into improving your life. I absolutely promise you that is a budget girl guarantee, and Rory agrees too. So I'll see y'all soon. Bye.